Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Final Stab, Episode 2. I wanted Episode 2 to focus on legacy sequels. Before we get to legacy sequels, there's a lot we gotta talk about of how I feel about them today. Wanted to talk about some topics that I was given to talk about, and I'm pretty excited to talk about. So, for starters, let's start with Rob Zombie. Alright, let's just get real. I like Rob Zombie. I really do. I never fully understand why he gets the hate that he does, because I understand, sure, his dialogue is always trashy. He always writes like horrible people, but that's art. I just don't understand. I feel like it's always so easy to shit on Rob Zombie, as well as many other different directors out there. I feel like Rob Zombie gets a bad rap. I love pretty much everything he's made, film-wise. I do like his music very much. I think my first introduction to Rob Zombie had to have either been Living Dead Girl in Bride of Chucky or Dragula in Idle Hands. And I think he's made iconic horror films. I'd say the ones we don't talk about a lot would probably be Lords of Salem, El Super Bisto, maybe 31. Mostly everything else he's made, like House of a Thousand Corpses, is so iconic. Devil's Rejects, a masterpiece. I'd say that's his greatest film. I remember when 3 from Hell was announced, and it's one of those movies where I was just like, oh, but Devil's Rejects ended so strongly. I feel like we don't need another one, but hey, if he's gonna be involved, and let's do it, right? I was so skeptical, and I thought 3 from Hell was such a blast. I thought he balanced out the camp from House of a Thousand Corpses, the comedy from House of a Thousand Corpses, and the grittiness of Devil's Rejects, and combined them both together so perfectly. And I can't wait to see what else he's done. Granted, he's done The Munsters. I actually didn't mind The Munsters. I am a fan of the show. You can feel that he was a fan of the show growing up. Is it perfect? No, but it was also just so interesting for Rob Zombie, out of anyone we ever would have thought, to make a Munsters film, and it's a children's film. Rob Zombie made a kid movie. Do I like it? I do like The Munsters. It's fine. I think it fits well. It's a prequel, so you don't have to know a whole lot. There's a lot of cool little Easter eggs of other characters from it. But I can say I enjoy myself when I watch it. I think his take on the Halloween remake was his take. Sure, don't get me wrong, it's fucking John Carpenter's Halloween. You'd imagine nobody should have touched it, but I think the idea he had for it was very him. It was very unique, and I'd say also very iconic. Rob Zombie definitely made the scariest Michael Myers today, at least in my opinion. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, we can talk about another time. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? No. I think it's okay. But there are definitely some things I like about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We'll see what he makes next, because Rob Zombie don't give a fuck what you think about his movies, and I respect that. Now let's talk about a horror film I saw a while back called The Outwaters. I don't know if anyone saw Terrifier 2 in the theater, but it was so funny because I remember when the previews came up for Terrifier 2 and this one trailer from Bloody Disgusting, and I had heard of this movie, but I didn't. First thing that we thought was, oh, this is Terrifier 2. Oh, just kidding. This is a trailer to a whole other movie. So it was really interesting to finally see a little teaser for it, and I was like, oh, fuck. Found footage, I think found footage is very effective. I think there's some incredible found footage movies. Even some that aren't even horror. I'd say End of Watch is a great found footage movie. But when the Outwaters trailer came, I was like, oh shit, this might be fucking scary. And I thought it was. I thought it was pretty fucking creepy. Now, I have not seen Skinamarink yet. And, I have a interesting opinion when it comes to analog horror. I think it is effective, but it doesn't always wow me. It just kind of seems like, ooh, that kind of shit, just well, obviously I'm going to get scared. It's a bunch of fucking creepy noises and creepy shit looking at you the whole time. So technically Outwaters, I guess, is kind of analog horror, but I think it does it perfectly because the sound design in Outwaters is fucking crazy. If you haven't seen it, you haven't heard of it, The Outwaters is about a group of friends who go out in the desert to make a music video, and crazy shit happens. I'm talking crazy fucking shit. I'm talking like psychological. Like you will be in hell. You will be in hell when you see this film. Because I remember we went. It was late night. I was with my buddies Sam and Anthony. We went to go see the Outwaters. I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go check this shit out. Our theater has it, of course. Love to support horror. Love to support indie horror. And the fact that our theater near us had it, okay, definitely got to go see it. So we go. I remember there was a shit ton of trailers. A decent amount of people. I was pretty shocked. It was a decent amount. Mostly adults from what I remember. Whole group of like 30-somethings sat in front of us, and literally, and from the opening of the Outwaters, I thought, oh, we're in hell. We're gonna be into some shit right now, because it is so scary. I thought that shit was gonna fuck me up from the start, and it did. But I loved it, and now I'm not gonna say you're gonna love it too. That's up to you. I do recommend checking it out because it's worth talking about. I thought it was pretty fucking scary. I am too grown to be scared of the dark, and when I got home, I was scared to go to sleep. But the crazy thing was, I didn't even know what I was scared about, because in the movie, it's mainly about, you see a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of like, just watch it. Just watch it. It's fucking crazy. I think the sound design is incredible. We don't talk about it enough. There were 2 short films that came for it. I believe one's a prequel and one's a sequel. And I have yet to check it out, and I will most definitely be checking it out. So huge props to Robbie Banfitch. I think he made such an effective horror film that you honestly just don't see a whole lot these days. And I think that's awesome. So definitely recommend. I will definitely be checking out Skinamarink at some point. Oh shit, something I wanted to add on the Outwaters. I feel like not everyone is going to get it. Shit, I'll admit. Some of the shit I still don't even get. I've tried watching videos analyzing it. I don't know what to trust or what to think of it. But honestly, I feel like you don't always have to know the answers. I feel like people they take movies too literal nowadays. Like, I feel like people just don't watch enough movies, you know? You don't have to trust me on my taste in films. I've literally seen movies like Titane and Gummo and thought like, wow, fucking masterpiece. When people think like, wow, that's like the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. And I remember when we left for the Outwaters, the group of 30-year-olds in front of us were like, oh, it sucked. Oh, that was so stupid. While I'm in the back literally traumatized. Like, I was like, holy fuck, that was so crazy. And that's how you know cinema's back, baby. And I think he had another horror film, if I'm not mistaken, called Tinsman Road. And I believe it's also found footage, so I will definitely be checking it out. Since Scream 6 is still fairly fresh, I'm not going to talk about spoilers today, but I'm ready to talk about Scream 6, because I'm just letting you guys know, I've seen it 5 times. I'm not kidding. I have seen Scream 6 5 times because I fucking loved it. It was everything I wanted Scream 5 to be. And the crazy thing is, Sydney's not in it. She's not in it, and it worked. It worked. And I just cannot believe we are talking about Scream 6, and I cannot believe Kirby was back. Kirby was not wasted. She was not wasted whatsoever. The references to the entire franchise. So far, I've only seen love for Scream 6, and that makes me so happy. Because I remember when Scream 5 came out, and I was so excited about it. I thought, oh my god, all these years, Scream 5 is real. All the OGs are back. And the first 5 times I saw it in the theater, I loved it. I loved it so much, which I still love Scream 5, don't get me wrong. But after a year of watching it and really digesting literally everything I possibly can, there's a lot of flaws because it's doing its homework. That's the best way I can put Scream 5, is that it's just doing its homework. It's letting you know, hey, we're a requel. Love that term, by the way. We're a requel, but with Scream 6, it says, fuck that. This is a franchise. We are part of a franchise, and if you don't know what's going on, that's your fault, buddy. Because if you have not seen a single Scream movie and you go into Scream 6, you will be so lost. At least when it comes to references. I think as a standalone, it still works because it's just a lot of fun. I have no idea how you can watch Scream 6 without knowing anything, because without a doubt, this was the most brutal Ghostface. Definitely the most brutal Ghostface. They were not kidding there. The motive was interesting, I will say the least. The reveals were very interesting, and like I said, we will talk about it when I talk about spoilers and also share what I think about Scream 7. But as of right now, I fucking love Scream 6. They finally gave us what we wanted, and they did it without Sydney. That's insane. But do I think Sydney should come back? Absolutely. Everyone did so good. Courtney Cox did so well as Gale. But I think Kirby really takes over this time, and it's incredible. Everyone's doing such a great job. Scream 6, by far better than Scream 5. Love this franchise as a whole. It was so great. I am so happy I got to see it. Literally every time I see it, like I said, I've seen it 5 times. And every time I see it, I still get excited. I still notice things I didn't notice before. And I can't wait to go see it for the 6th time, because I saw Scream 5 times. I'm seeing Scream 6 times. And if Scream 7 is so fucking good, you know damn well I'll see it 7 times. Since we're talking about legacy sequels, or requels, whatever you like to say, both terms are fun. Obviously, it's always a treat to have all these franchises that we all know and love come back, because after years of just digesting how incredible the original is, or the franchise is, and then when there's that sort of break, you start to feel like, oh shit, I really wish they can come back. Especially for the ones that really should come back. And they do, and now we're definitely going off of a big ol' formula here. The only thing I can think of is Halloween 2018. Halloween 2018 changed everything for requels. I do want to focus mainly on horror legacy sequels, because I know obviously there's that Mad Max Fury Road, which I hear is like the #1 best. I have yet to see it, would love to see it. Or the Creed movies, or does Spy Kids 4 count as a requel? I'm getting off topic. Let's talk about horror requels. Now I do have a list that I've written down that I believe are requels. Would we count Chucky as a requel? I guess technically, with Curse, it was a tonal reboot, as Don Mancini likes to call it, which I agree. It's sort of a continuation, but it's not a straight continuation of Seed. It's not a reboot because it's the same continuity of the franchise and same universe. So sure, you can say that Curse or the television series is sort of a requel. But I would say Halloween 2018, Candyman 2021, Scream 5, not Scream 2022, I'd rather say 1 number than 4, Leprechaun Returns, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Christ almighty, that shit was fucking terrible. We'll talk about that another time. And I will never see The Craft Legacy. You will never see me watching it. No thank you. But I do like legacy sequels. I do think that some of them work and some of them don't work. I have not seen Terminator Dark Fate, but I hear it sucks, so we'll see. The only thing we can really benefit off of these legacy sequels is just like the fact that, like, hey, I've seen Michael Myers in the theater. I've seen Ghostface in the theater. And I understand, especially when it comes to these franchises that have literally like 10 plus sequels and like nobody's gonna watch all of them, so they have to just go off of this form of like, you only gotta see the first one to understand it. I get it. Halloween 2018 did a good job. Leprechaun Returns, I think, was fun. I think Lyndon Porco as the Leprechaun made it his own thing and made it fun. I like Leprechaun Returns. I generally do. But without a doubt, any movie is announced nowadays, it's literally just sequels and reboots. Sequels and reboots. That's what I like to say. And it's true. That doesn't mean that there aren't original stuff out there just because people aren't looking for it, unfortunately. Now, the main reason why I wanted to talk about legacy sequels today is because there is a new Exorcist reboot coming on, or requel, as I should say, coming along. How do I feel about it? Well, it has David Gordon Green, the people who made the new Halloween trilogy, behind it. Now, before we get to that, where is my stance on Halloween right now? Like I said, Halloween 2018. I fucking love Halloween 2018. It's still, I still rank it number 2. I think it's just as damn near as good as the original. And I say that because, to me, that's how a good requel works. Don't just focus on the original, because some people just like to only focus on the original, and it just seems so cheap. It doesn't come across as an homage. It just come across as cheap and just like a rehash of what the original did, which is technically why Scream 5 gets some of the hate it does, which, like I said, I understand. You definitely have to pay homage, and you have to kind of bring on the same tropes as the original did, but you have to, as we all now say, elevate it. What I loved about Halloween 2018 is that it doesn't just love the first movie. It doesn't just love everything from the original. It loves the franchise as a whole and brings it all together, brings all the good parts from the franchise, and makes it into one movie. That's how I always interpret it. And then they announced a trilogy. So Halloween Kills comes out. I love Halloween Kills. I think it's so fun. I do not understand why Halloween Kills gets the hate it does. Don't get me wrong. Is there silly moments? Absolutely. The moments where, like, literally Michael's right there. They have every fucking chance to shoot him, and they literally act like stormtroopers from Star Wars. But it's still fun. I think it's still fucking entertaining as shit. I do not give a fuck if Laurie is in a hospital the whole time. She was injured in 2018. I do not give a flying fuck if she's still in a hospital. I think it's hilarious because it's like, well, that's the plot of Halloween 2. Technically, this is the new Halloween 2. So it's fine that it's not Laurie versus Michael in Halloween Kills. And that's also not what the plot is. It's the town versus Michael. Now, do I think there were good ideas? Absolutely. Do I think there were flaws? Absolutely. Like the scene whenever Marion gets to shoot Michael and then she's out of bullets. I wish she did actually have like one bullet left, shoots him, and then gets killed. But everyone got so pissed when Marion got killed. Sorry, I didn't mean to harm the Marion fans out there. I was more upset about Tommy Doyle's death, personally, because I thought he would have benefited so much if he made it to ends. I don't understand how even the people who knew this was a second chapter in a trilogy and they were somehow still shocked that Michael won. But, and this is a big but, Halloween Ends. Let's talk about it. How do I feel about Halloween Ends? I like Halloween Ends. I respect Halloween Ends. I left satisfied. But was I underwhelmed? Absolutely. Halloween Ends is fucking weird. It's just so bizarre. Like, I will admit, and I'm not saying this as a hater, I'm just saying this just to say it, but nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for a love story between Allison and Corey. Nobody asked for it. I respect it because it takes such a big risk. There's great ideas, don't get me wrong. I think the opening is so strong because it completely throws you off, because it makes you think like, oh shit, Corey, we're getting a boy babysitter. He's watching this kid. Michael's gonna get him. No, he accidentally fucking killed him. Holy shit. So I remember from that opening thinking like, oh, we're in for a fucking treat here. But then it starts kind of getting like really like dramatic, and I'm glad that Laurie's still the focus, but sadly, it's nice to see that Laurie she's grown from her trauma. This is a Laurie who's just, has let loose and is happy, but I do feel like she doesn't grieve enough for the death of her daughter. And my biggest complaint still that I do not like from Halloween Ends is the way Allison was portrayed. I think that Allison's character is completely ruined in Ends, and I hate to say it. I wanted Allison to be a fighter, and instead she hates her grandmother and falls in love with Corey. It made no sense. I guess the only way you can make sense of it is saying like, oh, well, the evil manipulated her to fall in love with him. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's such a stretch that they end up falling in love, and that's like the big focus. And then I remember we're like hitting an hour into Halloween Ends, and I'm like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? What's going on here? But they kind of made it realistic. And the reason why Michael is the way he is because he's fucking old. He's too old. He went through so much damage and went through so much in 2018 and Kills. The best way my good friend Chai puts it was he wasn't hibernating. He was just slowly dying in the fucking sewer. But every time Michael's on screen, it's great. I love every time Michael's on screen. The idea of how there could be a new shape, I love that idea. I think that's what we should do from now on. If we really want to see Halloween continue, is let's stop saying Michael Myers, just refer him as the shape. Say that anyone can be evil. I generally do love when Laurie says evil doesn't die, it changes shape. And I agree. I love how we didn't have to explain so much. That's something that the older Halloween films kind of ruined Michael Myers with, was they always want to explain so much. He's evil. That's plain simple. Sure, he's supernatural, you can say that, but he's just evil, and that's why he lives on. But obviously evil can age. But do I hate Halloween Ends? No. I like it. It's just such a weird film, and I have so much trouble ranking it. I can definitely at least say it's not as good as 2018. It's not as good as Kills. It's not as good as Halloween 2, the original. I still watch it. I have a good time when I watch it, but there's just like those little moments where you're just kind of like, ah, shit. Like, the fuck are we doing here? Like, this is not how you end it, you know? But when we get to that final fight with Laurie and Michael, it's exactly what we wanted. Granted, people probably wanted that for an hour. That final fight I thought was so well done. That final, I guess, would you say monologue or that final line that Laurie tells him, I thought was so beautiful, so beautifully written. So it has its ups and downs, without a doubt. But I don't hate Halloween Ends, but sadly that doesn't fucking matter because a lot of people hate it. But I do feel like it's misunderstood, and I think they knew what they were doing. I think they wanted us to be divided. Granted, I think Lindsay's completely wasted, unfortunately. I thought Allison, her character was not at all what I wanted her to be. I understand where they were trying to go with it, but it just didn't fully work. But Michael's good, and Laurie's good, and that's all I can really ask for. But I think time will tell. People hated Halloween 3, and now Halloween 3 is the most loved, is very loved nowadays, which I love as well. Never hated Halloween 3, by the way. But we'll see. Time will tell with Halloween Ends. Now, as my point was, the people who made the new Halloween trilogy are apparently making a Exorcist trilogy. A requel, sure. A trilogy, you gotta make it fucking interesting. Because apparently Linda Blair's coming back. I do not know what capacity. I believe this is just a rumor. She's coming back. Like I said, I don't know how. I think that they did so well with 2018. Like I said, from what I know, this is from the people who made the Halloween trilogy. I really like David Gordon Green. I think he's an excellent director. But honestly, like we just got to see what they got. I do think that The Exorcist is just one of those movies you just can't remake because there's just been countless reimaginings and countless remakes out there that we've been done to death with exorcism films. That do we need a new Exorcist film? Of course not. I mean, the original is so iconic. 2 is a movie. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Exorcist 2, but it's interesting. Exorcist 3 is, I think, also pretty amazing, not gonna lie. And I believe there were later sequels after that, but I never saw them because I just never really saw a point. Sort of like with Candyman. I never thought Candyman ever needed sequels, but I thought the Requel was fine. But like I said, that's a conversation for another time. I thought the Candyman Requel was okay. Kind of felt like too many cooks in the kitchen, but I enjoy it. I don't love it, but I like it. But we'll see. I know Ellen Burstyn, who is probably so old at this point, have no idea what capacity she's going to have in it. So all I can say is, if you're going to just don't remake Exorcist. Don't remake it. The Exorcist is just as iconic as Jaws. Like, those are just movies you just can't remake. Just don't touch it. If we're getting something with it and we're getting a requel, I'm going to check it out. Might as well just appreciate what it is. And this is coming from someone who liked the Halloween trilogy. If the first Exorcist requel is good, then we'll see how interesting it'll be in a trilogy. But like I said, we don't really know a whole lot when it comes to plot. At least I don't know. I try to stay away from a lot of things. I just like to know like what's coming, but I don't like to know every detail because I just like to be surprised. Like, I stay the fuck away from trailers nowadays because they show way too much. Alright, we're coming to the end here, guys, and I wanted to end with a bang. So I had a really funny story to tell you guys of something that happened to me and my friends in high school. I'm just a bystander. I was not necessarily involved in this story, but I've had this audio clip forever. I don't know if the kids today remember prankdial.com, but all I know was my friends found this number in a book and used prankdial.com to prank this person, and it gets wild. It gets so fucked up and surprisingly racist, and it's the funniest shit that I still listen to today. But I will have my good friend Sam tell us his side of the story. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Scream King. And so I've been invited on this to talk about that racist chick audio clip. So I don't know if you can see right now, my editor, the Scream King, also the Scream King, he should be putting those pictures on now. in the corner of a book I found in one of my classes. It said "call me," and then with like a random string of numbers. So I decided, oh, that would be funny to call it, and I did. And she was very mean. I believe I called it on my phone first, like with my phone number. I don't know. The details are a little blurry. This, by the way, for the record, this happened back in, oh shit. This happened back in 2017 at 11 o'clock in the morning, whenever I took that picture. I sent it to my good buddy Sansi, and we just started randomly sending prank stuff to that lady, and she just got all but hurt. I don't know why she was all pissed off.
Alrighty.
Wait.
Oh,
Am I gonna be? Am I gonna be featured on the podcast?
mm-hmm.
Can I do a little shout out to myself?
Alright, go for it.
Hi, I'm me from the future. I don't know if you remember this, but it's me from the past. I know you're driving your car right now. Pretty windy, huh?
Well, you heard it from him, guys. I'm gonna play the clip now. Have fun.
Hello?
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 Yeah, hello?
Yeah, who is this?
Yeah, who's this?
Well, you called my phone.
I want to know who you are.
Well, I want to know who the fuck you are, damn it. Don't call my phone with an attitude like that. I don't know you.
Say. I know you. Look, I seen your number on my man's cell history.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I did. More than once. Why are you calling my boyfriend?
Well, there's fucking people been calling me, pranking me, because there's somebody is hating and wrote down my number on some book and said some stupid shit.
What's going on?
Because they're all hating, so.
How long this been going on for?
Look, lady, I don't even fucking know you. You sound black even. I don't fucking fuck with black people, okay?
You tell me the truth.
I don't like them. So fucking, I'm white. I don't fucking like them.
You've just been pranked by prankdial.com.
Should all hang.
I hope you guys love that clip so much. I don't like them. That's my favorite thing I love to say. That's one of my favorite things ever. It's so funny. Oh my god, thank you guys so much for listening. Oh shit, before I even talk about, I have some pretty cool news. Today is the 3rd anniversary of Angel of Death. I cannot believe it. This is insane. Oh my god, so much has changed ever since we made Angel of Death. We literally finished filming the day when the pandemic started. And it's been such a crazy journey ever since, and cannot wait to see what the future holds. But since today is the anniversary, I have some news to talk about. I want to do a director's commentary on Devil Child and Angel of Death, and this has been in the works for a while. I really want to do an Angel of Death documentary. I did a documentary for Devil Child, and I think it'd be so cool to do a documentary for Angel of Death of how we made it. And that's all I have to say. I'm still working on my new short film that's going to be coming this year, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this wacky episode. Can't wait to talk about other horror stuff next time. Thank you for listening. Bye.